Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's Bookmas Day 20, and I will be reading holiday novellas. So I'm going to be reading the Under the Mistletoe collection, which is all on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have the physical books. Which the first one is Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. These are all very short. Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. All by My Elf by Olivia Dade. Merriment and Mayhem by Alexandria Bellefleur? I don't know why that's so hard for me to say. And then Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. The last two authors I don't think I've ever read anything from, but the first three I have. None of these are rated really high, which is kind of shocking because some of these authors are pretty popular romance authors, but they're also novellas. So I am a little ticked because I went to go put this on my Goodreads as reading, and I thought I'd be able to just pick the collection, but it's making me pick them all individually. So I will only be tracking the Ali Hazelwood one because it's the first one. I'm not tracking 50-page novellas as a full read book. I can't do that. So if you follow me on Goodreads, you're only going to see me track one, but I may make a note in the comments or something. I'm not sure. And then I'm going to read My Darling December by Lauren Asher, which is a slightly longer story. I think it's still considered a novella, but it's like 250 pages, so I will obviously track that by itself. But I'm excited because I am in the mood for something Christmassy. It doesn't feel Christmassy to me right now. For some reason this year I'm not feeling it. So I'm excited to read something that'll maybe put me in more of a Christmas mood. And I'm excited to read on my Kindle because all of these are on Kindle. And I love reading on this, especially romances. I'm going to fly through these, and that's kind of what I need right now because the last two books I read were heavier reads or more brain power. Actually, the last three. So I'm excited for some light, fluffy romances, some quick romances. I know these are going to be quick stories because, like I said, they're only 50 pages long. And I'm looking forward to it. So I'll probably try to update in between each novella for the first collection. If I can, if I read two at work tomorrow, I'm obviously not going to update in the between them, but I'm not going to read all 5 of them today. So I'll update a little bit tonight and then tomorrow morning, maybe. And then when I get home from work based on what I've read. So I will talk to you all later. So I just finished Ali Hazelwood's, what was that one called? Cruel Winter with You. And the premise of that was this girl goes to get a pan from her childhood best friend's house, but it's only her brother that's home, her best friend's brother. And then there's a history between them that it goes through really quickly. And then she's stuck at the house because there's a winter storm, so they have to hash out their feelings for each other. That's basically the premise of it. It was cute. Obviously these are going to progress quickly because I think that was the longest one. It was only 60 pages, 65 pages or something. So the rest of them are going to move really quick, but they're just a fun, good time. I'm not expecting much out of these, but it was cute. It was wholesome. Ali tells a good story. Ali tells a good story even if she doesn't have a lot of pages to do so. So I'm going to see. And it wasn't really that spicy, I'd say. Now, Tessa Bailey, I know, is a spicy writer, so we'll see what she manages to pack into her few amount of pages here. Yeah, I think it was 65 pages, that one, so I liked it. I think the rest of them are just going to be pretty much the same. I'll probably like that one the most because Ali Hazelwood's one of my favorite romance authors anyway. But now we're moving on to Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. So I'll probably just update on that one before I leave for work tomorrow because it's about, Ali Hazelwood's was 64 pages. This one's 49, so this isn't going to take me very long. And the rest of them are around 45 to 50. So nice, quick, fun reads. If you don't love buying Christmas books and reading a Christmas book, these little novellas that Kindle Unlimited puts on, I think are the perfect way to get your little bit of a Christmas fix without investing in a Christmas book. And it also, if you just want to read one story, it's an hour of your life. And you can get into the little bit of Christmas spirit. So I'll touch base tomorrow morning. Okay, so quick update on Merry Ever After I read yesterday by Tessa Bailey. It's about this woman that moves to a small town with her son because she's a single mom. And she's working at a thrift store. And she meets this farmer that comes in. And it's literally just spice, which I kind of figured it was going to be with Tessa Bailey. And it was a very short story, and it moved a little quickly. I know that, it's a novella, it's going to, but I think she tried to do too much in too little time. And, she tried to progress a relationship in, 50 pages from absolutely nothing, not even knowing each other, to, way too far, I think. But it is what it is. not my favorite. I definitely liked the Ali Hazelwood one like considerably better, but the next one I think is the Olivia Dade, All by My Elf by Olivia Dade, so I'll probably read that one, and Merriment and Mayhem by Alexandria Belfleur. I don't know why I can't say her name. I'll probably read at least those two today, maybe all three, I don't know. It just depends on if anybody bothers me when I get to work today. And that's about it. So I didn't love how like Tessa Bailey was talking about like this guy was like abnormally large, like his pants, like he couldn't even find pants that fit him at the thrift store, so she had to like make him pants, and he was just massive and his chairs needed to be so big. I'm like, okay, I get it, he's a big man, but oh well. I'll touch base when I get home from work. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday afternoon, evening. It is the evening, not afternoon. And I did finish all of the Under the Mistletoes today at work. So I read two before work and then one at lunch. I actually ranked them. So overall, like on Goodreads, I gave it one rating, but it was just under the Ali Hazelwood one because I wasn't gonna track each of these little tiny novellas as one. And I said that in the last clip. But I did rank them in like favorite to least favorite. But first I'll talk about, what the other three were about. It has been a day, I'm sorry. So the next one I read was All by My Elf, which was Olivia Dade's. Is that the next one I read? And this one was about these three, what do they call them? Associate professors, like not full professors. I think adjunct maybe they call them. I can't remember exactly what the title for that is. I should know that. But there's these three adjunct professors from this one college that took a separate job for the holidays where they're literally like driving around trying to like launch this weird food brand for the holidays. And they drive around in this like literal Wienermobile. And it's two girls who are like best friends and then their male colleague. And our main character has a crush on said male colleague but thinks that he's into her best friend. And the whole thing is like they get stranded in that little bus thing by themselves. The girl, our main character, and the guy, they get stranded by themselves in that, and then they just kind of, it escalates. So that's pretty much it. That was the extent of that one. It was true Olivia Dade fashion. If you've read her books, she writes a specific type of woman, which I love that she does that, and I do recommend her to a lot of people. But it felt like an Olivia Dade, but just like really, really shortened. There just wasn't a lot that happened in that one. So the next one I think was Merriment and Mayhem, which was about this girl that moved from Seattle. Not really moved. She went from Seattle to this small town that's like not far. You can take like a ferry, but it's still like a 2-hour ferry ride to like sell her grandmother's house because her grandmother just passed away. And in a slew of events ends up having like emergency services called to her house like multiple times because she's just making all these like stupid mistakes and stuff. So she ends up meeting this firefighter, and it's like a really cute meet cute, and then it just keeps happening, and he like obviously shows interest right away, but she's like, I'm not staying here, like I'm not going to get into a relationship, I'm moving back to whatever. And it just is them going back and forth, meeting in all these different weird situations, and then him just like laying it on thick and trying to convince her to like give him a shot. So that one was really cute. That was by the name that I can't ever say. Hold on. Alexandria Belfleur. That was hers. And then I read Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. And that was about this girl that moved into this apartment, I think in New York City. And she lived below this guy she has like a huge crush on. And every time she would see him, she was like not looking her best because she's a graphic designer and she was always like on a deadline. So she just like looked frazzled and like was just getting snacks and stuff, so she didn't really care what she looked like. Has a huge crush on him and everything, and then they end up at the like Christmas party for the little apartment complex, and their real feelings for each other come out at that because they both have a crush on each other, but he thought she blew him off because of like what happened something that happened when they met, and like he's been trying to like give her leave her clues that he likes her, and she's just like not getting it, which girl, I get it. But so he thought she wasn't interested, she thought he was like too good for her, a age-old tale there. And then it just like there's just like throwing gas on a fire at the Christmas party, and true to the name of the series, Under the Mistletoe, you know, mistletoe can accelerate some things that don't happen in love stories as much as quickly as we like. So that's what that one was about. So if I had to rank them from my favorite to my least favorite, and I did have a clear least favorite. No shade to any of these authors. This was like 50 to 70 page novellas, so I'm judging off of a very short amount. But Allie Hazelwood's Cruel Winter with You was definitely the best one. Merriment and Mayhem, so the one with the firefighter by Alexandria Belfleur. Then Only Santa's in the Building by Alexis Daria. All by My Elf by Olivia Dade. And then Merry Ever After by Tessa Bailey. So they were all cute, really quick reads. Like I said, 50 pages pretty much. I think Allie's was the longest, and it was around like 60, high 60s, like low 70s, I think. So quick reads, fun little, all of them take place around Christmas, whether or not it's like at Christmas or like on Christmas, they all take place in that time of the year. So they were really cute. They were fun, but I'm looking forward now to reading Lauren Asher's My Darling December. I really don't know anything about this other than I think it's like a best man and a maid of honor. And it takes place in the same town as the Lakefront Billionaires, which I do enjoy that series. So we shall see. It's again very short. It's like 250 pages. So I'm hoping I can get through a good chunk of it tonight. I just wrapped presents. All of my presents are wrapped. So I'm getting stuff done, but still getting some time to read some of these fun, festive novellas. Really, they're not really books, but I'm having fun with it. And got to just balance my time for the next few days because we are in the countdown to Christmas. So I will touch base later tonight once I've gotten like a little bit further, maybe once I've started My Darling December and gotten enough into it to have like an opinion. Okay, before I finish this without updating y'all, I've got about 90 pages left, I think, and we're following Catalina and Luke, so it's dual POV, and they're the maid of honor and best man for Gabriella, who is Catalina's sister, Aiden, who is Luke's best friend, and also Catalina's ex-boyfriend, but they were just like not really serious. She's a traveling nurse, he's a ER doctor, and she's back in Lake Wisteria for the wedding, just for a month as a traveling nurse. And they've never really gotten along. They've known each other for a few years, but like she's very standoffish, but he's like golden retriever, happy all the time, sunshine man, and that's kind of put her off. So he was like constantly just like sunshine. They slowly start to get to know each other more over the course of a few weeks because she's in town for like a month, and they both are interested in each other, but she's like, I'm leaving, it's not worth it, and it's just gonna drive a rift between myself and my sister if something happens and we break up, blah blah blah, all that crap. So they're slowly like opening up to each other, and they're finding things that are like they have in common, which like is the best part of this whole thing for me because they're bonding over their love for Legos. And your girl loves a good Lego set, so I just think that's the cutest thing for them to bond over. We're still at the point where it's like a few weeks till the wedding, and she's still trying to, like, she's still holding back and, like, not wanting to open up to him and not wanting to give it a chance. So that is where we are. I think we all know how it's gonna end, I hope. I hope this isn't, like, a sad ending, but that's where I am. And I'm enjoying it. I like these characters. Like I said, I like what they're bonding over. I relate to Catalina and, like, what her thoughts are about trusting and like opening up enough to let somebody in like that. So I do like her, and I relate to her. So I probably won't say anything again until the end because there's not much left, but so far so good. So I finished and it was really cute, but I did feel like the ending was a little rushed. Like I feel like it went the like switch from between like her deciding what she wanted and like, or like the big switch between her being like, I don't think I want anything serious, all that stuff, to she's ready for a relationship. I felt was like that. It just felt like a very sudden decision, but it's a really cute story. Did enjoy it. I love Lauren Asher, so I figured I'd like it. I think I'm gonna try to read this because I still have a day and a half-ish. Well, like I have to edit the video tomorrow, but I think I can read this in a day because I've read the other ones in a few hours, and I've been wanting to read this so I can get it to my sister so she can read it before Christmas. So I think I'm gonna try to read this, and we'll see if I can get through it and the next day. So if not, you'll just get my thoughts on it until I have to stop the video to edit it and post. So I'm gonna start I don't know that I'm gonna start this tonight, but I'm gonna try to read this before my deadline of tomorrow. I'm excited about this one. It's like, I can't see this without thinking of the Taylor Swift song. But again, not expecting anything groundbreaking here, but these are a good time. They're cute. they're festive, they're feel good. That's all you want in a little romance book. So I will touch base with y'all tomorrow. Happy Thursday. Again, Friday for me. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I'm just over 50% of the way through the Christmas Tree Farm. So I'm just gonna sit and finish this because I have to edit this video for tonight. But I'm enjoying it. It's not like my favorite, I don't think, out of the three of them. Not that these books are like outstanding or anything, but just like the storyline. I'm not a huge fan of Kira. I think she's a little bit too like poor me, and Bennett's a little bit too hard on himself as well, and they're really back and forth in their heads. So I'm not a huge fan of the characters for this one, but I still love that we're seeing some of our other characters and our other couples and building the stories for the next ones. And I think it's fun. It's a good time. It's seasonal. It's just gonna be I think like a fling that turns into something more, because neither of one of them wants anything serious. Bennett's supposed to go back to California after Christmas, so they are in the mindset that this is just going to be like a Christmas fling and then they're going to be done. But I think we all know that that's probably not going to happen. So I'm going to finish this up and then I'll wrap up the video. And we are done. So I'm going to wrap this up. I didn't read too much in this vlog, obviously. The first books were just novellas, and I think I did talk a lot in detail about those when I was reading them, and I ranked them and everything. And on average, I'd give those probably like a 3.25 over all 5 of the ones that were in the Under the Mistletoe collection. I already ranked them, I already talked about them, so I don't want to like bore you guys with that, but they were a fun time, and they're nice, quick Christmas reads. Like if you're not someone that wants to commit to an entire Christmas novel, or you don't like to buy Christmas books, because I try not to get too many. I only got this one because it's in a series, but I'm trying to like utilize Kindle Unlimited more for like the seasonal reads. So that's why I thought this collection was great, and they are on Kindle Unlimited. There's a lot of Christmas books on Kindle Unlimited. So that's where I think I'm going to get the majority of my holiday books from now on. But they were fun, and they were quick reads, which is also nice. You're not committing to like a 300-page Christmas book if you just want a little story to help get you in the spirit. And then the same thing with My Darling December. That was again probably around a 3.25. It was a fun time. Novellas are hard to rate high because I don't usually even rate them, but because I did it as a collection, and then this one was around 250 pages, so it was a little bit of a longer novella. I feel comfortable giving them those ratings. It was cute. It was nice being back in the world of Lake Wisteria, and just Lauren Asher's writing. I enjoy it so much. I've never read her Dirty Air series, but I've read the other. I've read the Dreamland Billionaires and then both of the Lake Wisteria books. So enjoyed those. And then I read this, and just like the other 2 books in this collection, they were just a fun time. I did get a little irritated at these characters for the beginning part of the book. The second half, they were a little bit better when they started to like accept their feelings and, you know, deal with their problems and everything. But it was a little bit of an immature issue that like separated them at one point, which, as if you've been watching my vlogs, you know that I'm not appreciating that as much anymore. I prefer more when they can work it out without having the dramatic 3rd act breakup. But it was still very holiday feel. Like this one felt like maybe the most holiday-ish one out of all of them, because it did take place around Christmas on a Christmas tree farm. So I thought this was a fun way to close out the vlog. I didn't even know I was going to get to read this one, but I got through the other ones much faster than I thought. So it was a fun way to end this vlog. Again, 3-star. Spice level on all of these. The novellas were a range. I'd say anywhere between maybe even like 0.5 to like 2. And my spice ratings, I had somebody ask this in a previous video when I talked about spice ratings. I don't mind spice in a book, and I'm not really gonna ever give anything probably more than 2.5 or 3, because if I do, I'll probably DNF it, because usually when it's something that high, it takes away from the story to the point where it's just not enjoyable. Like, that is why I DNF'd Pucking Around. It was just too much, and that's just what the story was about, and I just wasn't about that. And then Haunting Adeline, which that took it too far for me. And everybody has their own limits on that, but that's just how my spice ratings work. If it was just a lot of the story and a lot of detail and excessive, it's probably going to be between a 2 and a 3. Usually a 2, 5, and a 3. If it was kind of mentioned, I usually give it like a half, or if it's like a quick scene, it's like a half. 1 to 2 is where it really just depends on how often it happened and how descriptive and detailed it was, plus if I felt like it was just beginning to get too much and start to take away from the story, but I still don't think it hurt the story. So that's just, I know it makes sense in my head, and that's just what all ratings are, star and spice. So I'd say that they did range from anywhere between like 2.5 to 2. I can tell you that I probably would have given the Tessa Bailey one a 2 because that's all that novella was about. And I did not feel any emotional connection. That's the other thing. If it's not an emotional connection, if it's just a physical connection, it's going to be a higher spice rating for me because there's no emotion behind it. So that's just how my mind does it. But I think the person said like they do it based on how, if they'd feel comfortable reading it in public. I don't get embarrassed by stuff like that, so I'd pretty much read anything in public. I also don't think I show my emotions on my face too much when I read unless I'm crying, so I have a poker face when it comes to that kind of stuff. But would I want someone at work picking up my book all the time? Probably not. But that's to their own, they take their lives in their own hands when they do that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Tessa Bailey's was probably the high end of that, and I want to say Olivia Day's was probably the lowest end of that, from what I can remember about the detail of the spice in that. They all did have spice. Lauren Asher's wasn't too bad. I'd say about a 1. This was about a 1, I think, as well, because it, again, didn't, all of these, like, I think weight a lot. It's like the second half of the book that the spice is at, and it wasn't extreme, and it wasn't very detailed. I don't like when there's a lot of detail. I don't like when they use certain words over and over and over again, and this book did it in a tasteful way, I think. So those are my ratings. Those are my thoughts on my Christmas books for now, and I had a lot of fun reading those, and I'm a little bit more in the Christmas spirit. It hasn't really been feeling like Christmas for some reason this year. I don't know. It feels like it came on too fast, and it's not snowing. It's cold, but it's not really snowing, so that doesn't help either. But I still had fun. Still enjoyed them, but now I'm kind of done. I have a few more days till Christmas, but I'm kind of done with the holiday books, so. And let me know if you've read any of these. How do you read your Christmas books? Do you go out and buy seasonal books? Because I did, until I realized I had nowhere else to put them on my shelf, but kind of by themselves. And they're not always like the best written stories. They're a good time, but I kind of stopped buying physical holiday books this year. But let me know if you read holiday books. I know some people don't like it, so I'm always curious to see like what people's thoughts are on that. And I thank you so much if you've made it this far for watching, and hope to see you all tomorrow for Bookmas Day 21.